If you want to seal the border, vote Trump. If you want to restore law and order in this country, vote Trump. If you want to defeat the deep state, vote Trump.
There's one candidate in this race that understands how to make our nation more secure, our nation more prosperous.
If you want 4 more years of Donald Trump, let me hear you scream!
Well, the election the primary in New Hampshire has been called. Trump wins it. Now, look at this, you guys. 55% in of the vote as we're watching it get counted throughout the night. And Trump is up after 55% of the vote counted by, I'm going to say, actually 9 points. 9 points up. It's fluctuating, but right now he beats Haley by 9. By the way, this is the one state where she had the best chance. I looked at Real Clear Politics. Listen to this, you guys. This is insane. I looked at Real Clear Politics. I'm looking at it right now. South Carolina, where she was governor for 2 terms. Trump, in all the polls combined, the average, Trump beats Haley by 31 points in her home state. How do you lose by 31 points when you were the governor for 8 years? Can you explain that? That is unbelievable. What does that tell you about how you'll feel after she has 2 terms as president? Not good. And that you would want to go with a much more conservative person that's more ballsy, if you will. I don't know what to say than that about Trump versus her. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. I am asking you about tonight's victory for Trump and what's going to happen here with Haley and everything. Do you think Republicans are making a big mistake by electing Trump over Haley? It's obvious he's going to get the nomination now. No president's ever won the Iowa and New Hampshire nominations without going on to win the presidential nomination. Do you think most independents are going to want Trump, or do you think maybe this is a rope-a-dope that Biden wants? His team says they want him to get the nomination because they think they'll totally beat him once it's Trump versus Biden, that a lot of independents aren't watching right now, but once they find out it's these two again, they're going to be like, oh, we want Biden, which I can't see that, but who knows? Let's take your call at 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. Then after this, we're going to get into the border in just moments with the latest on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. First, let's go to Vance in Arlington. You're on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. Hello.
All right. You had asked about a vice presidential hopeful.
Yeah.
And I think Ben Carson would be a great guy because he is calm, he's super intelligent, and he's not someone wanting to take the spotlight, although he puts his feelings out there. Mm-hmm. But I think he would be a great person with Trump, and he would bring the things that you have spoken of earlier as far as Tim Scott and what have you. But I think he would be a great person, and certainly not Nikki Haley in any way.
What are you going to do if Nikki Haley ends up becoming the vice presidential nomination? Are you going to not vote? Are you going to still vote for Trump? Or are you going to vote for Biden instead, maybe?
I would certainly vote for Trump. My God, he is the only one that's going to take us out of this debacle that we have been in for 4 years. He's the only one, and the reason is because he already knows the seepers, the deep people that are there that he needs to get rid of. And he's one of the only ones who can do it. And not only that, he's the only one that the rest of the world is going, we know who you are, and we're a little bit, we know what you'll do.
I disagree with you on as far as Ben Carson. I think Ben Carson puts people to sleep. I think he's boring. I like him a lot. I've had him on my show twice, way before he ran, for like an hour one night, and love the guy. He's brilliant. You're right, but I think he's just too slow and sleepy. Just who he is. I think that Tim Scott's a lot more exciting and more electable.
All right, and where I disagree with you is that's the very reason I like him, because we have a person that is going to be out there, that is the man, and we don't need anybody else on the side as far as carrying any weight for him. He is the man. He is the guy that's going to go out there and stop and know what is going on in the world, and he knows it better than anyone else because he's been out there and shown what he can do. And the rest of the world knows and they believe what he is saying.
Right, absolutely.
You remember when he was speaking with Xi, the Chinese?
President Xi, Mm-hmm.
Yes, and he said, oh, by the way, I've sent 76 cruise missiles over to blow up this base because I told them not to send any more gas. And I think it made an impression. And I think he is an impressive person, and he knows what's going on. For him, and I don't think it would hurt to have somebody who is a little more demure, and maybe, as you say, Ben Carson's too slow, but I don't think he's slow at all.
I appreciate your call, Vance. I got to roll, but I do appreciate your call. I just strongly disagree. Ben Carson can be a cabinet member like he was before. He's great at that, but he's going to put you to sleep and bore you. We need somebody like a Tim Scott would be great. If Nikki Haley ends up sticking around because she wants that VP ticket, she wants to force her way on, that could happen. Who knows? But dang, she's going to get beaten like a redhead stepchild in South Carolina. And as of right now, with 59% precincts reporting, Trump beats her by 8.6 points. Let's go to Josh in Fort Worth. You're on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. Hello, Josh.
Hey, Chris. I spoke to you last night about the EVs. We were bagging on those.
Yes,
drivers.
You're a great caller, brother.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, so no, the longer she stays in this race, the more I grow to dislike her, and I already dislike her a lot.
Yes,
I have to say, I would have a very hard time voting for Trump if he made her his running mate. I mean,
really
setting us up for a 2028 run with her. That's essentially what it's doing. And here's the other thing: you had all those contradictions that you played earlier for her. You know, the China one, that alone should send shivers down the American public spine.
Right.
So I think she's dangerous. I think she's.
I
honestly,
do.
She's Biden light. That's what she is. She's Biden light.
Yes, she is, and I think she's more dangerous because she's appearing to be something that she's not.
A snake. She's an absolute snake.
I agree, but what if she sticks this out, which is what George Bush Sr. did? And Trump says, I want to end this woman. She's a gadfly. She's a nuisance. She's making me look bad long term. I need to battle Biden, and just says, screw it. I'm going to put her on. What will you do? Will you still vote for Trump?
I mean, that's a tough one. They're going to be playing the sound bites of her like you were, just like they did Bush. No new taxes. Oh, God.
I agree. But what do you if that happens, what are you going to do? You thinking about Biden maybe, Josh? Kind of getting excited about Biden now if that happens?
That cuts deep, Chris. That cuts deep.
I had to say it gently, but
pragmatically, I would have to vote for Trump. I would, but God, it would just stink. It would really stink.
Yeah. I know. You just got to look at the orange man and vote for orange man and ignore the nuisance on the vice presidential side. Josh, thanks for your great call. You really are a good one. Keep it up, brother. Keep it up.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you. Yeah, I love these Enfuego callers. All right, guys. Trump up by 8.6 right now with 59% precincts reporting. That's good. 8.6. We wanted to get to, at least I do, 12. I want to go to 10 or 12 to shut this woman out and end the debate. Although I love it. How's she going to spin it today? I won. Remember she said that when she came in third in Iowa? I won. We did it. Wait, there's a guy who's wearing cowboy boots who's the Florida governor who beat you. Oh, no, I won. Okay. All right, coming up next, the illegals on the border. Chip Roy, congressman from Central Texas, Republican, says we must defy in the state of Texas. I'll keep taking your calls, by the way, on New Hampshire tonight, too, and Trump at 800-288-WBAP. But also, Chip Roy says we must defy the Supreme Court and says to Biden and Border Patrol coming back and trying to take it over at the park there in Eagle Park, Eagle Pass. He says, go to hell and keep pushing it. And then you have to hear an unbelievably awesome proposal from a large, well-off suburb of Chicago. What they're proposing doing with the illegals, what one city council member is that I love. All that's coming up next. Chris Crock Show. Our number is 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. A News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 93.3.
Mr. President, says that she's staying in through Super Tuesday.
I don't care.
Is she a threat to you?
No, and I don't care if she stays in. Let her do whatever she wants. It doesn't matter.
Nikki Haley wanted it to be a two-person race, right? I mean, she got that. Do you think it's going to go in her favor at all?
I think it hurts her, actually. I think it's going to hurt her. Probably have a big loss today, but who knows?
Once it's done and they drop out and they get behind you, do you forgive those people, or are you kind of still mad?
I do. I'm a very forgiving person.
Right now, Trump is up with 60% of precincts reporting. Trump is up by 8.7 points, almost 9. Nikki Haley, this is just broken in from the B. Breaking, Haley wins New Hampshire by negative 12 points. She won by negative 12. She won by, good job, Nikki. We're proud of you. You win again. She won Iowa by getting third place, and she wins New Hampshire by losing by 12 points at least right now. Good job, Nikki. We're proud of you. You really are an amazing president. I'm sure you'll beat Biden by at least negative 5. Good job. You are the winner, Nikki. You are the winner. All right, y'all. What do you say? Is this a rope-a-dope? Should we not have Trump be put in office because of the fact that when it goes to the general, we won't win? Do you think? What do you think Haley's going to stick around for? Do you think she's stick around just so she can get the nominee like George Bush Sr. did with Reagan? He forced his way on the ticket. 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. Let's go to Danny in Vegas. You're on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. Chris Crock program.
Right here. So I think Christine Noem should get in there. I think she's pretty hot.
Oh, Christine Noem, the governor from she's South Dakota, I think is
South Dakota.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She's a pretty lady. Yeah, beautiful lady.
She's really so she's really pretty. Mm-hmm. You got to remember that a lot of these people.
Oh yeah.
Looks is very important.
Yes.
I don't think Nikki Haley is that attractive to begin with.
No, when I heard somebody say the other day she's got witch face, I will never look at her the same, because if you look at her to the side, it looks like the side of a face of a witch. I'm not trying to be mean, but somebody said that. One of my listeners said that on Twitter, and I was like, oh my gosh, you're right. He said, no way for Nikki. She has witch face. I'm like, oh my gosh. Go ahead, sir.
So yeah, I definitely agree. Looks is very important, I think, on this thing, and and she definitely has it. And of course, being a girl, it's another thing. So,
that's why Gavin Newsom honestly is dangerous once he runs. I'm being serious. He's a smooth talker and he's good looking. I'm serious. The wine moms. Gutfeld said the wine moms will just love him. I agree. Unfortunately, the ignorant, woke, leftist, upper class wine moms. Yes. Go ahead, sir.
Exactly. And like I said, what if Nikki Haley becomes a VP? Now, all of a sudden, she's going to eventually try to run for presidency eventually.
Of course.
With the same type of policies that she's running right now.
Right.
So, I mean, do we really want that, in the future?
What are you going to do if Trump ends up saying in a month or two, because she has the money to stick around? I really do wonder. Now, here's the problem. South Carolina's primary. Can you check the date on when South Carolina's primary is, Producer Garrett? I think it's a month from now. And that's a problem because that's 4 weeks of Trump being pummeled by this woman with a lot of money. And February 24th. Okay, so that literally is a month from today. That's pretty bad because she's got the money to stick around. That's 1, 2, 3, 4.5 weeks from now. So go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, okay, even if she has the money, donors are going to, people are going to start running. I mean, people are going to make those decisions saying, hey, you know what, she's not going to go anywhere. Why do I waste my money? Why, it just doesn't make any sense.
Well, I don't know, because if she forces her way on the ticket and gets the vice president, then that does make sense, because then she has a good chance to get the presidency.
Yeah,
things change when you're forced to make a decision. It'll be interesting on that.
If I was Trump, I mean, first of all, I don't even know why would she accept that after he's been telling her. What did he tell her? What, called her a bird brain?
Well, he's right about what it always happens. He says he forgives him right away. He did that with DeSantis. He does it with all of them. So, but will you vote for him if she gets the nomination for his vice president?
I mean, I'm voting for him no matter what.
Danny, I appreciate your great call. Look forward to your next one. Let's go to Kevin in Rockwall. Kevin, you're on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. Hello. Oh, Kevin in Rockwall, go ahead. Yeah.
Yep, I'm voting. I want Candace Owens.
Well, she'd be great, but she's too far out there, I think, for a lot of people. And they don't know her, and the left has defined her already. I don't think that's a good decision.
Well, good decision for who?
Well, I mean, to win. To win.
To win, you're probably right, but
that's
good
all.
Decision is a good decision. She's brilliant, and she has bigger balls than Biden ever thought about having.
I know.
So
I know. All right. If it's Trump and Haley, if she forces her way on the ballot with him in a month or so, we used to vote for him?
I'll vote for Trump, yeah, but I'm not a big fan of hers.
I agree. Are we getting rope-a-doped here? Are we going to lose the general if Trump gets the nomination, which is 99.9% secured now for him?
No, we're not getting rope-a-doped. Everybody's sick of Biden and the open border and the.
Even if you take off the Trump goggles that you and I have because of our love for him.
You know what? I actually didn't vote for Trump. The first time I was one of the guys that voted for oh good God,
Joe Biden. You voted for Biden 4 years ago?
No, hell no, I didn't vote for Biden, but I voted for good gosh, I'm sorry, buddy.
Well, he's that good you don't even remember him or her. I got to roll, Kevin. Thank you, brother. Look forward to your next call. 800-288-WBAP, your reaction to Trump securing New Hampshire. Nobody's ever won both New Hampshire and Iowa and not gone on to get the nomination. All right. Also coming up next, finally we'll get to the illegals and Chip Roy saying defy the federal government. Hell, go to hell is what he said we should say. And a Chicago suburb has a great idea. One member of their city council has a great idea on how to handle the illegals if they come to their town. I like it. I'll tell you what it is next.
I'm not going anywhere. The political elites are saying we all need to coalesce around him. This is not a coronation. This is a democracy. And so, we are going to have, a strong showing today here in New Hampshire. We're headed to South Carolina. We're going to go through the tape in South Carolina, and then we're on to Super Tuesday.
Well, the tape is revealing a lot. She is now losing, we got 64% precincts reporting. She is now losing by 10 points. It went up 10 points now, and that's good. We want a solid 10-plus win. If I don't want it to go below 10, it might, because each precinct is different. Some will be like 90% Haley, or it is what it is. There's no large town, no large cities in New Hampshire, obviously, but the southeasterly part, Nashua, where the population is, that's where they'll be more pro Haley. But we'll see. We will see. But right now, Haley loses by 10 points. That's perfect. At 64% of the precincts reporting. Now, one theory I heard tonight that is sounding more possible is that Haley she's got so much money because all the establishment has gone behind her now, A lot of independents that hate Trump or won't vote for Trump are voting for her, at least in New Hampshire. And a lot of people are saying that well, not a lot of people. Some people were saying tonight on Fox, like Karl Rove was saying, that maybe Haley's going to stick around for a long time, even though she knows she can't win, because she will force her way out of the ticket as a vice presidential candidate. And do you think she would be a good vice presidential pick for Trump? And do you think we're getting rope-a-dope where Trump might lose in the general? And that's why Biden, according to Axios, his team is excited about this. They're glad because they think they can actually beat Trump. If it's Haley, they would be more worried, reportedly. Yes, but who knows? 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. And then moments away from getting into the illegal stuff going on at the border with the razor ribbon and such. Andy and Garland, you're on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. So what I wanted to say is actually, I wouldn't vote for Nikki Haley in a primary over Trump. I don't think she's a great candidate. However, she might help with the moderate vote, which is something Trump has always struggled with.
Okay, and I think that's right. I mean, I don't like her at all, but I think you're right.
I mean, just think about like the suburban, so I'm 27, so I'm fairly young and I've always been very conservative. But think about people who are more middle of the road, because in the 90s, Clintons were more moderate and even George Bush was more moderate at times. And they seemed to do better because they were more moderate. Trump did good in 2016 because he was very far and people wanted to change, but that didn't work as well in the last election. So we might need to change it up.
It's possible, but I'd rather see a Tim Scott, not a, but the Tim Scott instead of her. How about you?
Yeah, no, I can agree with that, too. I'd say he's a more moderate option. My point is we just need to temper it a little bit, because I think if we go too far, then it kind of throws people off. Like, even when we don't like when people go too far to the left, so maybe going too far to the right's not good either.
I think you're right, but we also have to be careful, too, right, to not go, what do they want? And then do what they want, quote unquote, what we think. But I think you and I agree, though, and most of us seem to agree that a little bit of a moderate type in there that's stable, steady, can balance out the appeal or the possible reticence to elect him, to vote for him in the general.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%.
Andy, thanks for your call tonight.
No, thanks for having me.
You too, thanks. Thanks for having me on your radio tonight. On 93.3 FM and on 820 WBAP AM. So 64% of the precincts reporting Trump is up by 10. Okay, Chip Roy is urging our Texas officials and our governor, of course, to tell the Supreme Court order to go to hell, to ignore it, to buck it, and to keep enforcing Texas law and ignoring the Supreme Court's ruling that they cannot put the razor ribbon up, and they didn't rule they couldn't put it up, but they ruled that Joe Biden can order the Border Patrol to cut it to help the illegals come in and continue to invade us. So Chip Roy says, go to hell. He says, this is from Fox News tonight, they have a duty under the Constitution and every other norm of leadership of any sovereign state to protect your citizens, period, full stop. There's no exception to that. If the Supreme Court wants to ignore that truth with a slim majority, which a slim majority did, Texas still has the duty, had the duty. Texas leaders will still have the duty to defend their people. If someone's breaking into your house, he says, and the court says, oh, sorry, you can't defend yourself, what do you tell the court? You tell the court to go to hell, you defend yourself, and you go figure it out later. He also said earlier on Twitter, this opinion is unconscionable, the Supreme Court opinion. Texas should ignore it on behalf of the Border Patrol, who will be put in a worse position by the opinion and the Biden administration's policies. Governor Abbott, meanwhile, tweeting out, I will continue to defend Texas constitutional authority to secure the border and prevent the Biden administration from destroying our property. So that's one big thing I wanted to share with you. And I do think we should continue to put up the razor ribbon, continue to block off that park and arrest the illegals, and continue to do what we've been doing. I think that if Border Patrol is ordered to go in at us to, stop us or whatever, I think our guys should hold firm without getting violent. And I think that they should not move, stay right there, and just keep putting it up as the Border Patrol is attempting to clip it. I think we should just keep putting more and more and more and more. And what we're doing right now, if you follow me on Twitter, you'll see some of my earlier tweets where we've put up. This is from about an hour or so ago. We are still putting up more on top of. We have these cargo. The cargo things you put on semis and on trains, right? The cargo holders or whatever. We have those, and on top of that, we have razor ribbon. So the Border Patrol would have to go up on top of that and cut it. You know what I mean? And I think that's good. Just keep putting that up, everywhere, as we've been doing. And then if the illegals come through, you arrest them. And I think that's good. I like that. And I think we should stay there and do that and not change. I don't think we should be tussling with Border Patrol people. I think, we should just literally just keep going and more and more and more and more and more and more. And if they come and they start clipping, be ready. More. So it's hard for them to get in to let the illegals get in. But not get violent. But don't back down and don't move. Just don't physically be aggressive. I think that's what we should do. What do you think? Would you support that? Do you want Texas to ignore the Supreme Court's decision and keep the razor ribbon up and keep the fences up at the Eagle Pass Park and to resist the Border Patrol, as I do? And how far do you think we should go in disobeying the Supreme Court's order to let Border Patrol cut the razor wire? We were not ordered by the Supreme Court. Our number, by the way, on that is 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. The Supreme Court did not say stop putting razor ribbon up. They said that the Border Patrol can cut. And by the way, the Supreme Court's decision was not final. I need you to understand that. The Supreme Court's decision was not final. It was a ruling now, and they have not heard, they've not made a decision permanently on this. They just said for now, we vote to allow Border Patrol to cut it, but it does not mean that that's a permanent decision because it is not. They will hear the case fully and make a decision in the near future, but now they've not done that yet. Second of all, you got to hear this. This is beautiful. Funny enough, my parents used to live in this suburb. And I love the headline from Fox News today. Wealthy Chicago suburb proposes allowing residents to sign up to house illegals, the illegal migrants. It's not a wealthy suburb. People that live there aren't wealthy. It's a nice and upper class, I'd say, one, but it's not wealthy. There's areas that have a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. There are in a lot of places. But it's a very nice suburb. I'll say that. And you have a city council member there. And he says, quote, I'm not going to support using other people's money to house or aid the illegals. I do know there's a lot of people who do care, and I think we live in a compassionate community. So before we go down the road of, following suit on some of these other cities and taking action on, my idea would be let's find out. Let's find out who's willing to help. Who's willing to take the illegals into their homes? He says, let's have a place where you can sign up if you're a resident and invite the illegal into your house. That way we're not paying for anything. We're not going to pay for anything. We're not going to have anything here. The city's not paying, hosting, or anything. If you want to host them, we're going to make a way to sign up so you can invite the illegal into your house. And that's his proposal. He says, we do have a very affluent community, a lot of big homes, and what I'd like to do is direct staff to create, this is so awesome, create a sign-up sheet. So for individuals that would be willing to house illegal migrant families, he says, and if there's people that would do that, God bless them. I think we need to find out. We need to find out who would be willing to house illegal migrant families. That would be my new business. I would be looking for support for the diocese. Any questions, discussion, I'm happy to have that. I can't tell if he's on our side or not, but I love this. You put him in your house. You do it. Do you like that idea? If they're dumping them off, if we are doing that, if we're dumping them off in that area, which we've been doing a lot, they're all terrified of this. If they're doing that, the way of cutting it off is to say perhaps you have them. Although it's comical to me, and I don't think anybody's going to sign up for it, and I think that's why he's doing that. However, I would probably just take the tack of what two other suburbs in Chicago are doing, Schaumburg and Rosemont, and which is the hotel where I've stayed at for where O'Hare International Airport's hotels are. It's right there. Anyways, they have said you cannot put the illegals in long-term housing in in hotels. If you're a hotel and you have them, there's a $1,000 a month tax put on you from the city. So in addition to the government having to pay it, they have to come up with $1,250 a week for taxes per week on each room. I love that. That stops it right away. It works. So you tell me, guys, what do you say? Would you support a policy in your town that refuses to take in any illegals but allows homeowners to take them into their houses? I think that's hysterical. And then do you want Texas to ignore the Supreme Court's decision and keep the razor ribbon up, keep the fences up at Eagle Pass Park, and resist the Border Patrol? And how far do you think we should go in disobeying the Supreme Court's order to let Border Patrol cut the razor wire? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. That's 800-288-WBAP. We'll talk to you, take your call coming up next. Also, you and I, well, if people want to become residents of the United States, they have to get the COVID shot still. But do the illegals have to get them? I'll tell you about that coming up next. Yeah, Brian. Yeah, brother. It's a good jam. Good jam. 73% of precincts reporting Orange Man leading by 11. Yes! Yes! Woohoo, baby! Woohoo! Orange Man up by 11 now.
Oh, Hercules.
Spank that, Haley. Spank that candidate. Yes, sir. Spank that, Haley. Yes, sir. Okay, that's good, guys. He is at 55. Oh, he just went up again. Oh! 75% precincts reporting Trump 55, Haley 43. 12. That's what I'm talking about. 12. I told you 12 has to be the minimum. 12 has to be the minimum. By the way, listen to you're not going to believe this. What's his name? The candidate for president. Isn't Dean? Yeah, Dean Phillips is the Democrat candidate for president. He got 21 points today. Joe Biden got 52% in the write-in. So Biden won. But listen, in the write-in campaign. But listen, Dean Phillips, who is a wealthy Democrat congressman from Minnesota. Listen to what he said on fake news CNN tonight. Listen. Well, I can't play that actually. Okay, no, we can only play Fox News. Well, I'll just tell you this. I'm going to read it to you because I had the transcript. I heard it. It's amazing. I wish I could play it for you, but I'll just read it to you. Quote, I got to tell you guys, I went to a Donald Trump rally a couple nights ago. I've never been to one. I had an event across the street. I saw a line of people waiting in the cold for hours. And I thought, what the heck? I'm going to be a leader who actually invited people, doesn't condemn them. Met probably 50 Trump people. Let's see. Waiting in line. I met them. Every single one of them, thoughtful, hospitable, friendly. All of them, a lot of them, so frustrated that they feel nobody's listening to them except Donald Trump. A diverse crowd, people that have never been to a Trump event before. My party is completely delusional, he said. Isn't that amazing? That's the guy running for president against Biden, who they have rigged to make sure he can't win anything because Joe Biden's afraid to go after him. That's amazing. You can see that on my Twitter feed, at Chris Crock Show. That's at Chris Crock Show. Just retweeted it, CHRISKROK. So, yeah, I love this. I love this, that Chip Roy is saying go to hell. We should just keep doing what we're doing on the border, which Governor Abbott did tweet out, quote, this is not over. I'll continue to defend Texas constitutional authority to secure the border and prevent the Biden administration from destroying our property. So he will probably be following in the steps of what Chip Roy said, which is just tell him to go to hell. Don't do it. Don't obey. And I do believe that that's happening and it's going to continue to happen. And now you have a Chicago suburb proposing by one of their city council members hey, we can't spend any money. We can't take these illegals in. But if you want them in your house, we're going to make a sign-up thing. I think that's a great idea. And the same thing happened in Massachusetts with Governor Maura Healey. She asked residents to consider sponsoring illegals and have them in their houses. Something tells me nobody took them up on the offer, but who knows? Elon Musk warned earlier this month, Fox News says, the government could go beyond voluntarily sign-ups and force residents instead to house the illegals in their homes should they run out of shelter and hotel space. In the meantime, Fox News also says police chief in listen to this, guys. I know where Oak Brook, Illinois is. That's where McDonald's headquarters are, world headquarters, Oak Brook, Illinois, suburban Chicago. Listen to this. Police chief from Oak Brook, Illinois, just revealed days ago that nearly 40 illegal migrants have been arrested there between October to mid-January, dude, in 2.5 months, mostly for alleged property crimes. The illegals, Joe's illegals, are committing property crimes, 40 of them in 2.5 months. Behold, Joe's illegal invasion, criminal invasion. We chronicled yesterday illegals from their MS-13 gang members and illegals that are Tren de Alga something or other. It's a very notorious gang of one of the states. It's like Alga something. It's a state in Venezuela. Tren de Agua something or other. I went into this yesterday. In Miami, he and 2 others kidnapped and killed a former Venezuelan cop who lives there legally in Miami. It's the first guaranteed that now they're here. And they arrested 38 of them on the border that were trying to come in on Joe's invasion, but lots of them are coming in, and there's your first one of them killing and kidnapping and murdering somebody and doing a home invasion and raiding the house. There you go. We've brought Venezuelan terrorist gang members, MS-13 from El Salvador. Y también we have a guy from, where was that guy from that is accused of, I think he's from Haiti, of raping a developmentally disabled person in Massachusetts. Another one, a woman testified yesterday, was on Fox, that a different illegal from Joe's Illegals came in and raped and murdered, strangled her daughter at a trailer park. So Joe's Illegals are just getting started. 5 years from now, it's going to be 20 million times worse because they're all here. And 10 years from now, even worse. And here we are. All right, up next on the Chris Crock Show on News Talk 820 WBAP. Oh, my gosh. A local baby children's outfit for babies, like baby clothes here, is in big trouble for what they did to a mom who was in the middle of adopting her baby boy who was in the NICU. It's what they did to her that got so controversial and crazy. She went on social media. It's blown up. You must hear this. I've got audio. All that's coming up next on the Chris Crock Show on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.